Welcome back to the Stephan Show. My name is Graham and welcome to my show. And today we're going to be getting back to one of my favorite all-time series out there that they never seem to post enough of. As you guys all know, we got Millennial Money, we got Glamorous Money Tours, and now we have one of my all-time favorites, seriously, is GQ Sports. And they have a series that's called My First Million. And basically what they do is they go over these like really just obscenely paid athletes that are really good at what they do. There's like some of the best in their field, and they go over how they spent their first $1 million, obviously, as the title says. So anyway, today we got this video right here that so many of you have begun sending me, which, by the way, thank you so much, because anytime a lot of you guys send me the same video, I know it's going to be a banger like we have today. And today we have this video. It's called How PJ Washington Spent His First $1M in the NBA. Wait for it. My First Million. Wait for it. GQ Sports. And I have a feeling too, judging by this dislike ratio, this is going to be a really good video. I have a feeling PJ Washington, I don't really follow sports, but I have a feeling he's probably going to be pretty good with his money, just considering the like ratio. That's probably one of the biggest giveaways anytime it comes to these videos. It's like, if it has a high dislike ratio, you know they're just blowing money left and right. I got my prop money for effect here. You know they're just blowing money left and right. I got this for like $5 on Amazon. But anyway, with that said, I'll put it here. With that said, let's watch this video and see probably just how right he is spending his money and his first $1 million. Enjoy.
Hey everybody, this is PJ Washington. I'm at home in quarantine, practicing social distancing, and I hope you guys are doing the same.
Oh man, that Gucci sweatshirt. That's it. Those things are so expensive. Like, let's look up Gucci Gucci sweatshirt. How much? Gucci sweatshirt. It's hard to say Gucci sweatshirt. Look at that Gucci oversized logo embroidered sweatshirt, women's XL, $1,500 from Neiman Marcus. Holy crap. Gucci crew neck, logo sweatshirt, size 4 to 10 black, 6, $310. For this, $300. What on earth? Why is it so expensive? Okay, so I found one like somewhat similar to him. Gucci vintage logo, hooded sweatshirt, size 4 to 10 white, $360. What a waste. What a waste of money. But anyway, he's got millions. He's got millions. It's a drop in the bucket for him. Let's see.
Before we get started, I just wanted to give a big shout out to all the healthcare workers. We really appreciate what you guys are doing for everybody in the communities.
It would be kind of funny if instead of that, he's like, I just want to give a huge shout out to Webull, where you could get your 2 free stocks down below in the description. No, he took the high road here, and you got to commend him for that. Absolutely, the people who have been working right now during this whole pandemic, especially any frontline workers, that's just instrumental to our entire economy and for everybody in general. So for that, too, I got to commend him, but thank you very much.
In like 4th grade, I had a feeling that I was better than everybody else because we were at this AAU tournament and I had like 40 points. At that moment, I was just like, if I take this serious, I feel like I can get somewhere with this.
That's incredible that he figured that out in 4th grade. So he's got to be like 9 years old, maybe just like barely approaching 10 years old. And he's already thinking it like 9 or 10, like, wait a second, I could be really good at this if I just stick with it. That's what it takes, especially I really believe with a lot of these athletes, they start young. They know very early on that they're like, I'm good at this is what I want to do, I enjoy it. And then they become like this guy who's buying Gucci hoodies. You too could buy a Gucci hoodie. If you figure out what you're good at in 4th grade, you could do that.
In high school, I did have an allowance from my dad. If I had a triple-double in the game, my dad would give me $100. So I would be in the game counting out all my stats every time I got something.
And how many triple-doubles did you have in high school?
I think it was like 5.
Wow, that's a good father too, to be like, if you do this, I'm gonna give you $100. If I go above and beyond, if I do a good job, I want to get paid for it. Even if I'm like 5th grade, it's like you gotta finish your homework. Get an A, you'll get $50. Then it just gets them thinking. It makes you start thinking like, ooh, if I put in work at this, I'll get money for it. And then with that money, I could go and buy things with that money or invest it and then make even more money so that one day I won't ever have to do my homework. Or then you have enough money that you just pay other people to get A's. And then you get paid for your A to pay somebody else less. That's actually the true entrepreneur right there. That's how it works.
My biggest spendings as a college student was definitely shoes. Any Nikes that came out, I was trying to get them, and Jordans as well. Also video games, pretty much. I was a game head, still am, so those are my 2 biggest things I would buy.
That doesn't really tell it. We want to know how much money he's spending on those, because video games and stuff, that doesn't need to be that expensive. Nikes, though, I've seen some of those Nike shoes, like the limited edition drops, $1,500, $2,000, $3,000 shoe. It's like, why? And then, but here's the thing, they never wear them. They buy the shoe and they don't put them on. Like, they don't actually use it for its actual purpose, which is walking. It's protection for the bottoms of your feet. They don't do that. They just, they put them up on a display and then look at them. That's bad. Don't do that.
I think you and Tyler were in the same draft, right?
Yeah. I think we were just really excited just to be in the green room together.
Whoa, that's Tyler. Okay, cool. So we did another My First Million with Tyler. And he spent, if I remember correctly, a lot of money on cars. Like, Tyler's thing was, I want like this AMG, I don't know, like an S63, it was like an S65 or like a CL65. I don't know, it was one of these AMG Mercedes that I knew was just, it was a waste of money, basically. So they're friends. So let's see if this guy picks up on Tyler's bad habits of buying AMG V12 Mercedes cars.
My contract is 4 years, $17.8 million.
Whoa, wow, whoa, how much is it?
My contract is 4 years, $17.8 million.
17 million bucks over 4 years. Okay, let's break this down a little bit further. He's making $17 million in 4 years. Probably got expenses on that. He's got agents and lawyers. And let's just say on average, those people who represent him overall take 25%. So let's say now it's 17 down to $12,750,000 is how much his take home is going to be in that. Then let's assume probably about half of that is going to taxes. So then he's left with $6.3 million. Then he's got living expenses. Now that could be but that's really up to him. But at the end of the day, over 4 years, he's averaging $1.6 million a year after taxes net before his expenses. So it seems like a lot of money, $17 million over 4 years, but I think it really works out to be about $1.6 million a year net. After all expenses, after taxes, this is how much he has to spend. I guess that is enough, though, to get your 2 free stocks down below in the description, because that only costs $100 to deposit on the platform, and when you do that, they will give you 2 stocks, one of them valued all the way up to $1,400. So he has plenty of money left over to do that.
It's extremely important to save your money, and it's really important to have somebody that helps you through the process. I found my financial advisor with my dad. Me and my dad would go around and interview a bunch of people. It
really bothers me with this that he didn't frame his shot right. Like, if you go back here, when he's head first in the camera like this, his head's all the way up here. Now, I don't know if that's just because he's like really tall, but it just seems like if he just had moved the camera up a little bit more and centered his face a little bit, instead of be like me filming all my videos like this. This looks weird. And then the other one, it's like him all the way over like in a corner and there's too much blank space. I wish he just spent an extra minute there just framing out the shot a little better.
The plans we discussed with my financial advisor, 20% of everything goes into a spending account and 80% of everything goes into a savings account.
Ooh, I love that. They're so smart. I have a feeling his dad has really got to be the one who's behind, especially if his dad is like giving him $100 for making these like crazy shots. You know, his dad, I think, is really the smart one who's like behind the scenes, just like cultivating his son's career, making sure he doesn't blow it. That is so smart. A 20% spending fund at his income would be more than enough money. Jeez. Even 20%, if he's spending 20% of his net of 1.6, he could spend $318,000 a year. He could spend, we break that, $873 a day is how much he could spend and still save 80% of his income. That's incredible.
Growing up, I've always wanted to open my own car dealership because my dad used to work at CarMax when I was really young. He used to come home with different cars pretty much every day. So that's one of my plans in the future. I definitely want to own a car dealership.
Yeah, that's okay. So his dad worked at CarMax. I believe that would be like maybe just a base pay plus commission. I don't know exactly how it works. But yeah, when you're on a commission job like that, you treat your income very seriously because you don't know how long that income's going to last, or you get one big commission check. You got to figure out a way to make that not disappear. So obviously, I think his father's experience of seeing money come and go and his income rise and fall over time, I think is definitely going to influence his spending.
And this is how I spend my money. First thing I ever got was 2 apartments, one for me and then one for my family. Both apartments are in Charlotte, and actually they're like 10 doors apart from each other. I got apartments in the same building because we're a close family, so I felt it was easier for us to spend time together once they come in town.
That's good. He's taking care of his family. Obviously, I think his family took care of him. Obviously. So yeah, I think so far it's not bad. Let's see how much he spent though.
2 apartments, one for me and one for my family for the year, $60K.
Wow, that's actually, okay, so $2,500 per apartment. That $60,000 for rent is good. That's good. $60,000 for the year for 2 apartments, phenomenal.
My next big purchase, my Porsche Panamera, because after my freshman year, 2 of my teammates had came back and they were driving them, so I was just like, yeah, this is the car I wanted. So once I got all my money, that's what I purchased. I bought the car out of Louisville, Kentucky. I went with my dad, obviously because he was in the car business, and my dad does a good job of negotiating, so he definitely got the price down for me.
Ooh, nice. That's the thing. You got a dad who works at a car dealership. You're gonna get a good deal on the car. I just hope he bought a used one. If he bought one just 2 years old, they all look the same for the most part. They're all the same car. Get one a few years old, save like 40% of the value. Drive it a few years, losing pretty much no depreciation on that car. Sell it, move on to something else.
The Porsche was $140,000. The interior is red. I pretty much have all the windows tinted as well. Porsche upgrades, $2,300.
Oh, you bought it new. What a waste. Okay, that's so much. I can't imagine spending 140 grand on a new Porsche like that. Especially like if I were his dad, I'd just get one used. That was more money than I thought.
I have another car.
He's taking after Tyler. Tyler was just like, oh, where's the cars? Where's the cars? Where's the cars? Obviously, you are who you hang out with. Wow, he spent almost $300,000 on cars. Here's the thing with cars that I realized. Here's my epiphany with cars. You can only drive 1 car at a time. You can't drive all 3 cars at the same time. So that's what I realized, because for a while I had the Tesla and I had the Lotus. Never drove the Lotus. Every time I drove the Lotus, maybe once every like month or so, just would take it for a spin. Then I got back in the Tesla. I'm like, oh, it's so much easier in the Tesla. I could autopilot it. It's really just as fun. But yeah, I honestly really believe 2 cars is more than enough to have. You have one fun one, you have a daily one. If you're gonna do that, or just have one really fun daily one. That's it, problem solved.
Before I got in the league, I was kind of into fashion, but now that I'm in the league, I'm a lot more into it than I was. My favorite shopping stores, Barney's, Saks Fifth, Neiman Marcus, those are pretty much the 3 I use the most.
He likes all the expensive stuff though. It's like the same, it's all the same thing. Now, here's what I've seen from some of these sports guys, is that fashion is a part of their brand. They can't walk up looking, like ripped sweatpants, ripped t-shirts, unless they're Kanye. If they're Kanye, they could do that. But in all seriousness, it seems like high fashion and high-paid athletes kind of go hand in hand with one another, and it is a part of their brand and image. And from what I've seen, it does make sense to spend $20,000, $30,000 on clothing because it's part of your image, and it goes with the territory of it. So it's a bit like a business expense. But let's see how much he spends on that.
Clothing, I spend about $80K.
$80,000. So he's spending 2-3 times what I would say is probably normal. Why did he spend $80,000? He's wearing a car, is basically what it is, a high-end car. He's wearing a Tesla Model S. He probably could have got the same clothes at H&M for $5 grand. Same thing. Really? It's the same stuff.
I've always wanted jewelry, but I just never wanted like too much. First, I got a pendant. It's kind of an emoji, but it says my name. That was like $15,000. And then once I got the pendant, I wanted the Cuban. It's a Chinese emoji. It means acceptable, but it says PJ right there. I just use it all the time on my Instagram, and then I just got a chain for it. After that, I just got some earrings to go with it. Altogether, it was about $45,000.
That's one of those things. So some jewelry, you could get at a really good cost, because that jewelry at $45,000 might have a base value of like 15 or 20 for the actual, like the diamonds and the metal and the gold or whatever it's made out of. It has value. The rest of it is just the upcharge and the charge for his customization. I don't know how many people would buy his jewelry from him, but at least he's not losing a ton of money from doing that.
I got my first tattoo once I got to college. It was a verse on my chest. Once I got to the NBA, I wanted to get more, so I spent $8K on my sleeve. Tattoos, $8,000.
All right, again, that's a personal choice there. At least with tattoos, it's like, once you fill up your whole body, there's really nowhere else to get tattooed. Well, I guess unless you do like your lip, like you could start getting like lip tattoos, you run out of space, face tattoos. It's funny, but it's kind of true, but like at a certain point, it starts looking like you passed out at a friend's party and they came at you with a Sharpie. That's what it starts looking like after a while. But anyway, to each their own.
I want to give a special shout out to my best purchase yet, my dog. His name is Zeus.
Oh, you know that's an expensive dog. There's no way that's a pound dog. I don't think. I bet that's some sort of rare, exotic purebred that he had to go and get somewhere. Where you know the type of dog where they go and there's someone with the dog on a plane. You know, just taking the dog to a location. They never leave the dog side. I bet that's what he got. My guess is 4,000.
He's an XL bully. I think he's 11 months right now. He's about 125 pounds. Zeus was 5,000.
I said 4. It was 5. Yeah, there you go. Wow, but seriously, having an 11th. But seriously though, having an 11th. Why can't I say it? Having an 11-month-old dog weigh 125 pounds. That's a horse. You got a little horse, a miniature horse there.
The last big purchase of the year for me is a personal chef. All the vets advise young guys to get a chef just to eat right.
Let me guess. Okay, I'm going to guess $50,000 a year for the private chef plus the cost of the food on top of that. So I'm guessing in total it's going to be about 70 grand, depending on if he just pays the chef separately or the chef and the food together. It's a good investment. For him, I think his body is really, he makes money being an athlete. So it's really important that he has the best nutrition. He doesn't have to think about it. Has it cooked for him. This is one of those things that I think is probably a really good write-off for him. So I would say as long as he's spending under 80 grand a year on his diet, I would say I'm all for it.
For the year, for my personal chef, I paid $40,000.
There we go. See, 40 grand, and I bet it's 40,000 plus the cost of food, maybe another 10, 20, probably about 50, 60 grand total. That's a good cost.
I actually have a whole little gaming center in one of my rooms. I just bought it like a couple weeks ago. I got a gaming chair, a gaming table, and then like a monitor. Video game setup, $500.
That's not bad. You know what? $500. I bet he's getting so much entertainment from that. That's cheaper than the club. You see these guys, they're like, go to the club, $50,000. Buy Dom Perignon, $20,000. It's $500 for video games. That's fine.
So far, I've spent $622,300. The rest of my first million went to saving and investments. I didn't know I spent that much, but I mean, I don't have any regrets. I feel like all my purchases were good purchases, so I'm pretty good with what I got.
Good for him. You know what? I really like this. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and besides honest, I mean, some of the purchases are stupid. Like $80,000 spent on clothing, that's stupid. Almost $300,000 on cars, that was stupid. The jewelry, it's okay. That's okay, but it's still kind of stupid. But I'm okay with that. The chef is great. Some of the video games are fine. But honestly, I think he makes more than enough money to afford all of this. He's not going to be going and hopefully buying $400,000 of cars every single year, $300,000 of cars every single year. He's probably not going to be going and spending all of this every single year. It might turn out to be different things, but overall, I would say he's doing a really good job saving 80% of his income right off the bat. If he does that for 10 years, he's retired. Seriously, 80% of your income for 10 years, done. And he could live as though he's making, $1 million a year, whatever, in retirement, never has to worry about money ever again in his entire life, can open up a car dealership, make even more money from that, or just do whatever. He could play video games all day with his dog if he wants to. But overall, I would say he's doing a really good job, really someone who I would say is not really making many mistakes. It sounds like he has a really supportive family behind him as well that's really helping with that. So obviously, there's not much for me to criticize. I like him a lot. I think he's a good example for other athletes really to look up to. So with that said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to destroy the like button, subscribe button, and notification bell. Also, feel free to add me on Instagram. I post there pretty much daily. So if you want to be a part of it there, feel free to add me there as my podcast, The Iced Coffee Hour. New videos posting every single Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, so make sure to add yourself to that. And lastly, like I said, if you guys want 2 free stocks, use the link down below in the description, and we Stable is going to be giving you 2 free stocks when you deposit $100 on the platform, with one of the stocks valued all the way up to $1,400. So if you want those 2 free stocks, use the link down below. Let me know which 2 free stocks you get. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.